Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make my incredible gluten-free pumpkin pie. And I really say this is incredible because I'm not really a fan of pumpkin pie, but this pie, I could eat the entire thing. And that is because it is so creamy and really unlike any other pumpkin pie I've ever had. And that's because there is a secret ingredient in it, and it makes it super creamy and just delectable. So let's get started and I'll show you how to make it. We start with, of course, my gluten-free pie crust. This is my all butter pie crust, and I will leave a link above for a video that shows you just how to make it from scratch. It's super simple. I use it in all of my pies, and my husband, who is like really picky about his pies, says this pie crust is the best he's ever had. And there's probably a reason for that, because when you're making something like a pie crust, you really don't want gluten to develop. So we don't have any problem with that because there is no gluten. So stuff like this tends to actually do better, in my opinion, than it would if it were gluten filled. Like, you'd really have to be conscientious of how much water and stuff that you would add. But in this case, this pie crust always comes out absolutely beautifully. And it is so flaky, and it's just really a great crust. So I'm just preparing it for a partially baked pie crust, because I used to do this without partially baking it, but I found I would over bake the pie and the pie crust wasn't completely done. So now I'm going to put this in the fridge for about 30 minutes, and when it comes out, it's nice and firm. All that butter is nice and firm. And what we can do is line it with tin foil. I like to use heavy duty tin foil because it really creates a mold like around the pie crust that it gives a chance for you to get the most filling in there possible with a nice pie crust underneath. So I'm filling it with my leftover beans. I've used these for I don't know how many applications of making pie crust, but just get them in there. And then what I like to also do with the foil is kind of fold it over the crust edges, so that when I first bake it, the crust is still nice and blonde. And then when I take it out, it starts getting just lightly colored, and it doesn't overdo the crust edges. So this has baked now for roughly 12 to 15 minutes or so, or until it's just really set. It's nice and blonde, and you don't want it overly done because it's going to bake some more when you put it in the oven with the filling. So we're going to bake this for another 5 minutes, and we'll get started on our filling. So here is my secret ingredient. It is cream cheese, just 1 block of cream cheese, and it makes this pie almost like kind of sort of cheesecake like. It is just incredible, you guys. And to that, we're adding powdered sugar, and that also helps with like making it like silky smooth, cream cheesy cheesecake like. It is just perfect. So, and I'm doing this in a bowl. You can definitely do this in a stand mixer or with a hand mixer, but sometimes you risk like overbeating it, just like you would with like a cream cheesecake. So I like to kind of go back and forth between my spatula and my whisk, and get all those lumps out with the whisk, but don't like overdo it and beat lots of air into it. So then we add the rest of the powdered sugar, and it's going to get real hard. Just put a little muscle into it, and then we can switch back over to the spatula. Now we'll add vanilla, and this is my homemade vanilla. And 3 eggs. You can add them all at once. You don't have to worry about adding them one at a time, mixing after each one. By the way, as always, anytime you are looking for the recipe, the link will always be in the description box below this video. And also the recipe for any flour blends I use in making those recipes. So in other words, this pie crust uses my all-purpose gluten-free flour blend, and you will find a link below directly to that as well. So just get this going with a spatula, and then you can switch to the whisk, and it'll really loosen it up. There, it's nice and silky smooth. So now the next thing is cinnamon and pumpkin pie spice, because I like a little extra cinnamon in mine. And then this is pumpkin puree, just from a can, like the Libby's. And then just give this a good whisk. Okay, our crust has been out of the oven and it's cooled down. And we're going to just add this filling directly to the crust. I always put my pies on another baking sheet just in case like something were to spill out. I don't want to clean the inside of my oven if I can at all help it. And then we're going to bake this for about 30 to 40 minutes. It depends, until it no longer jiggles in the center or just barely a jiggle. And I want to show you guys this. Look at this pie. You can remove the entire pie from the pie plate. There are no soggy bottoms here, Paul Hollywood. If you watch Great British Baking Show, you know what I'm talking about. Paul Hollywood always says he doesn't like a pie or a tart or whatever with a soggy bottom. Well, you will not find a soggy bottom with this pie crust. And fun fact about Paul Hollywood, my husband is like his doppelganger. So the blue eyes and everything. But look at this pie. Now back to this pie. I mean, you could just eat this like with your hands. It is that sturdy, but still just so creamy. And it is absolutely incredible, you guys. I'm adding a little whipped cream, softly whipped cream to it, because you know you got to have pumpkin pie with whipped cream, and this is just heavy cream mixed with a little powdered sugar and vanilla. This pie is incredible. You've got to make it, you guys. Enjoy.